Mr. Frederick Macharia, will you please
Yes.
start?
Okay. Can you see my screen
Yes, very good.
and confirm I'm audible?
Yes, clear and loud.
Now I can start.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Reni and Mr. Budiman in his absentia. I really appreciate for giving me, or rather selecting me and giving me this opportunity to be training today. And I thank all the members who have joined the meeting. As we wait for the rest to join, they will catch up with where they'll meet us. My name is Frederick Macharia from Kenya. Always proud to be a Greenworld distributor. And I'll share with you today's training. And my topic is 6 key attitudes and behaviors of a successful leader. Maybe I start by defining attitude and obvious and behaviors. The attitude, you can define it in different ways. For me, I'll define attitude as a settled way of thinking or feeling about something. That's how I'll define attitude. And of course, we have 2 ways, either it can be positive or negative. But throughout my session, I'll be talking everything about attitude as positive, as well as the behaviors. Now, after defining the attitude as a settled way of thinking or feeling about something, now let's go to behaviors. A behavior is what a leader does, not what he thinks. Therefore, as the way we defined attitude, thinking, and feeling, also a behavior is what a leader does, not that what he thinks, feels, or believes, but is what a leader does. And afterwards, you'll define you as a successful leader. So with the definition of that for attitude and behaviors, we are good to go. And the first question you need to ask yourself, are you a leader? And because this question is good, you answer yourself after I finish the training so that you compile what I've explained to you and see, does my attitude and behaviors qualify me to be a leader? And I'll define for you who is a leader. A leader is a person who has the ability to influence and inspire others to follow him. Now, the key point here is, if you are a leader, you have that ability to inspire other people to follow you. That means if you are not a leader, you are not inspiring, you will not have people following you. I'll give you with a simple explanation. If you spend your time chasing butterflies, they'll fly away from you. But if you spend your time creating and forming a good and beautiful garden, now this beautiful garden has flowers. These flowers is the behaviors you have. You create a good, you spend your time creating a good garden, then with beautiful flowers that are attracting the butterflies. At the end of the day, the butterflies will come following you, will surround that garden. Which that garden, it is you with who is a leader with behaviors and a beautiful garden that is inspiring other people to follow you. Therefore, if you have the ability to influence, attract people, inspire them, they'll follow you, and definitely that tells you you are a leader. And we'll go through the difference between a boss before we get to the 6 keys attitude. Difference between a boss and a leader. And In network marketing in Greenworld, we have leaders. We don't have bosses. And one thing with a boss is there to drive employees. Do this, command, do this and this and this. But a leader is there to coach the team. You are there to coach the team. They follow what you are doing. That's one comparison. Another one is a boss depends on authority. They have authority. They have other big bosses above them. So they'll depend on that authority to lead the people they are leading. But for a leader, depends on a goodwill. Another comparison is a boss inspires fear. You know, if you have ever been employed, a boss will always be there to inspire fear. Like, for example, a boss will tell you, you have to report at the job by 6 a.m. and leave by 6 p.m. If you are late with a few minutes, maybe they'll start inspire fear that they'll deduct some salary at the end of the month. Therefore, you'll end up, even if you're on the way, you got caught up by a traffic jam. You are wondering, let me come out of this and get a motorbike so that I can rush and be on time. But a leader, you are there to generate that enthusiasm. Even when you are generating an environment of enthusiasm, it means even the people you are leading, they don't even need to be pushed. Even if the meeting is starting at 9, you will see already you have people like by 8 or by 7. And the good thing is that when you are having meeting as a leader, you even sometimes indicate that we'll be having gift for the early birds, because you're generating enthusiasm. Those people will try to come as early as possible. Now it's the distributors you have, because there is an early bird. Therefore, you know already, even if the meeting will be starting by 9 a.m., by 7, I have people who have already arrived. Everything is well prepared. You know, there is a lot of enthusiasm. They don't need to be pushed because already you have created that environment. Another thing is a boss says, I. If you win, when I was employed, I used to tell people, if our boss have bought a new car, I'll not say my boss have bought a new car. I'll say we have worked and we have bought a car for our boss, because it has. And now that's why a boss says, I have won it. But for a leader is we, because you are doing this business, we are in one, as I was one team. Therefore, if we win all of us. That means if there is a certain achievement of a level, there is a certain qualification of a trip, a car, it is we who have won it. Another thing by a boss, is always ready to place blame for the breakdown. If the sales have gone down, the blame is always there from the boss to the team. But now a leader fixes the breakdowns. Is always ready to fix, to avoid any blame. Another thing for a boss is knows how it is done alone. But for a leader, is there to show how it is done, because you are a leader and you want to develop other leaders. Therefore, you have to show it how it is done, so that when you are not available, everything will go the right way as if you are there. For a boss, he uses people. Then for a leader is to develop other people. Another thing for a boss is to take credit. But for a leader, you are there to give credit. If you have performed very well, even you have been awarded, give the credit to the team. It is not you alone. It is the team. Therefore, a leader gives credit. A boss commands, is there to command. You have to do this and this and this and this and this. So therefore, the boss is always there to command you. And a leader will ask, this part, how can we do it better than we did last time? So is there to create an environment whereby for communication, ask how can we do it? How can we improve? A boss will be always there to say, go, do it. But a leader is supposed to say, let's go. Meaning, if it is to go, we are going all of us. You who is leading the others, you go together. Actually, we say you have to lead, they follow, but not tell them to go and you are left behind. That is the difference between a boss and a leader. Now, it is more than just knowledge and strategy. For you to be a successful leader, it is more than just knowledge and strategy. Great leaders offer so much more than business, knowledge and strategy. They know how to build trust. Yes, you need to build trust in that team. Empower those they work with. You need to empower them with the knowledge you have, the skills you have. After trusting them, that means you can sit down and everything will be performed very, very well because you have shown trust in them. You have empowered them with the materials, the knowledge they require. Their people skills. When we talk about people skills, you have to understand that in this business, you'll even go to up countries and get people who maybe they don't have knowledge beyond primary school, or others they have been used to stay up country farming and the rest. And these people skills, their example is like etiquette. After you take them from up country, you need to groom them and show them how to dress very well, how to talk with, to handle prospects, how to talk. That is like etiquette. Another people skills is, for example, like positive attitude. You have to train them how to have a positive attitude. Another way of people skills is that you have to motivate them. They have to always they'll be motivated no matter what. Another one is train them how to focus. I'm talking about people skills. Another one is problem solving. You have to train them to empower them on how to solve problems. That is their people skills, what puts them apart and in a superior league to the lesser model of leadership. That means after you empower them with the people skills, the etiquette, the positive attitudes, the how to focus, how to solve problems, even when people start seeing the difference in them before they join the business and now, because you have empowered them with the people skills. Let's go on. Now we go direct to the 6 key attitudes and behaviors of a successful leader. First one is positive communication. How you communicate with these people you are leading. You need to congratulate and encourage rather than order and criticize. Because when you encourage these people, the way they have done the business, whichever the result they have gotten this month, you need to encourage them every now and then, because when you encourage them to put more effort, to accelerate their effort. Value and motivate rather than belittle and point out the wrongdoings. To belittle is to put down or to make another person feel as though they are not important. That is how to belittle. But for you, you don't need to do that as a successful leader. That's not a good behavior. A good behavior is to value and motivate them every now and then. You motivate them, what they have done, you encourage them. And don't criticize. Say you work with me, instead you work for me. And that's right. In Greenworld, no one works for another person. It's us. When you connect this person to this business in your team. You have connected that person, you come, you show the way, you succeed together. But you have not connected that person, putting in mind, this person, this distributor is working for me. No, we are working together, together we achieve, together we succeed. Another way of positive communication is we are all work together in order to achieve a common goal. And that takes me back that you need to bring them together, share ideas, and have a common goal to achieve. For example, I know all of us do meetings in our shops. And because you have different shops in different towns, you do one meeting to combine all the people from different towns, maybe like monthly. The good thing, you can have a common goal and say, you have people who are good in selling products. They make a lot of points. You say, like the first, the second, and the third, who will be having the highest sales, they'll have gifts. That means you have a common goal you are working. If they are the first one to achieve the highest sales will get this incentive. The second one and the third. Because this way they'll work together. You have others who are good in recruiting. They recruit as many people as you can. Have a common goal. We'll have this qualification, this incentive for the first 3 people. Another one is a sincere and genuine compliment for every little achievement they have done. The good thing is that when you compliment, especially when you're having a meeting, you say this person to stand, have a good compliment. This person joined the business last month, and he or she has managed to do a 4-star within 1 month, a 5-star within 1 month. Even if that person has already done only that is 4-star, and there's another one you are complimenting, he has done a 5-star. Even this one who has done a 4-star will get encouraged and motivated and aim now to achieve more than that. Therefore, it's good to have a genuine compliment for every little achievement they have done. Let's go to the second one. That is gratitude. Gratitude is to be thankful. Like the way you always wake up in the morning, you give thanks to the Lord for giving you a blessed night, for putting you in the list of those people who have seen this day. Therefore, you are creating a room, you will be blessed to have more days to say thank you to the Lord. The same case in this business. On gratitude, I'll tell you, find gratitude in the little things. And you are well. A well is like the one you dig to get water. After digging, you reach a point you'll get water. Therefore, find gratitude in the little things. And your well of gratitude will never run dry. What am I trying to mean? If you are always there to give gratitude to your team, this way you'll always get, your well will not get dry of gratitude, the well of gratitude. You'll always get a chance to give more gratitude, more and more. A leader who takes the time to acknowledge the hard work of their team members is going to build a strong, trust-based team. I like doing this. I call at my team, we set target. And for example, I say, I divide 1 year in 4 times. And after 3 months, we set target. Those who will have done, maybe, I'm giving an example, who will have started from 1 star, to 5-star within this period of time. And those who are 5-star will have graduated, maybe have gotten like 2 more 5-stars. We'll go for a retreat. We'll look for a good hotel. We go for a team building. This team building, I'm the one to pay for it. You have to pay the cost. I take the team there. We go early in the morning. I tell them come with sports clothes. Then we have tea. We go to the field and have different activities. And in every activity, every game we play, we relax and digest what have you learned in that particular game in concern to the business. We go for another one, then after that we go for swimming. In the swimming pool we have other activities. After that we go for lunch, and after lunch we sit together. We say we have achieved this. You have become from 1-star to 5-star, 5-star, another one to 6-star. Now let's set other goals. Then after that, I'll put 4 stars in one place, 5 stars in another place, discuss for us next time to qualify to come here. What do you need we set as a goal? Therefore, that is one of the way of giving thanks, gratitude to them, because it's you to pay for that. And when it comes also to gratitude, it's good to appreciate the little thing they are doing. I'll give you an example. Let's see a petroleum truck. A petroleum truck carries 41,000 liters of petrol. Now that it's you are a leader, you are in a good level, you have a very big team. You are carrying 41,000 liters. That's an example. And you have to deliver this petrol from one point to the other point. But being that you are carrying 41,000 liters, the tank that you have, the diesel that this truck is consuming is very little. It only requires maybe 50,000 liters. Therefore, from point 1 to point B to deliver the petrol, on the way, the petrol may be finished. It requires to fill another petrol. That means it will enter the nearest petrol station. Meaning it is carrying 41,000 liters, but that 41,000 liters is not necessary for it that specific time. It will not use that petrol. It will require another petrol station fuel. And this truck may be carrying, like in Kenya, it may be carrying petrol from a certain company. Let's give an example, like Kenya, we have Shell petrol station. But on the way, it doesn't mean it has to use petrol or diesel from Shell petrol station. Whatever, wherever it is and it wants to refill, there is no a Shell petrol station nearby. It can enter and use another diesel from another petrol station. Now this petrol station is like the shops we have. Meaning, if the company it is carrying petrol from is Shell is very clean, this truck will enter the nearest petrol station which has clean diesel. If for example, you have 2 petrol stations here, one is not clean, that doesn't have clean diesel, it will enter the petrol station with clean diesel. Even in our business, we need to have our workplace whereby we have it's a clean workplace. Meaning, even if I'm not from that team of the owner of this shop, I can enter there and refill myself, purchase from there, get teams from there. That is also a way of gratitude. On the other hand, those leaders who back orders, the leaders who don't give gratitude. Back orders, an example of a back order is to command people to do things maybe in a louder way. Like, for example, military officers, they are used to back orders, to command maybe in a louder way. So therefore, on the other hand, those leaders who back orders with literary appreciation, you are there to command in a louder way, that is the back orders, but with very little appreciation of the contribution anyone else makes is not going to earn trust or respect. I want you to imagine a dog barking at you. What will happen? Especially for ladies, most of them they have a lot of fear. When you see a dog barking at you, there are high chances you run away. And if you know this house has a dog that is always barking, you will not like to be associated with that place. Meaning, if you are a leader who is always there to back orders, like the dog barking, I'm giving an example, these people will run away from you. And at the end of the day, you'll not have trust and respect from the people you are leading. Therefore, let's not back orders, but be ready to give gratitude. Whatever little they have done, give gratitude, and your well of gratitude will never run dry. The third one is you need to unite the team. You need to bring the team together. When I'm talking of behaviors of successful leaders, this team, it doesn't matter, it is your team alone. Even for other leaders, bring them together. We have to acknowledge that every member of the team has their own unique qualities. And it is important to see their unique will complete the puzzle of the team. Puzzle is problems or questions that need to be solved. Therefore, when you unite the team, you complete the puzzle of your team. You'll solve the problems, the questions that may not bring the team together. And after solving the problems and the questions, then definitely the team will be well united. When there is a gossip and dissent taking place, this dissent taking place is a strong, let's put it, a strong difference of opinion on a particular subject. They have differences of opinions, that is the dissent taking, they are gossiping, and a strong leader, you'll chip in and let everyone know there is no place for gossip and petty conflict. The petty conflict are arguments that are not important. Therefore, when you unite this team, and every team member has unique qualities, you unite them, you are responsible of this, you are responsible of this, and that way you'll not have the gossip, you'll not have the conflict in your team, and you'll not have even this dissent taking place and the differences. A positive workplace is one where every team member feels valued and respected. Let's bring this every team member in Greenworld as a whole family in those countries, different countries we are in. Therefore, we need to create, because we are successful leaders, not only in your specific team, but we are successful leaders in Greenworld as a whole family. And we need to have behaviors whereby we create a positive workplace where every team member feels valued and respected. We have different shops. In this town, the other county. Let's create a positive workplace whereby even if I don't belong in your team, and you have a shop in a certain place, I can come there, I feel valued, the team I'll get from that town is valued because I feel valued, is respected. The sales I'll purchase in that shop, they are valued because I'm valued. Everything will get, I'll get everything. My team will be valued, very, very valued. Therefore, we need to have a positive workplace where every team member feels valued. Even in your team, there is no unique member. Bring them together and everybody feel valued. It doesn't matter you are good in sales, good in recruiting, the level you are, but we bring them together, we unite them together, and they feel valued and they feel as well respected. The fourth one is empower and develop others. When it comes to empower and develop, I'll put it this way. Education is the mother of leadership. You need to take, as a leader, whatever you have, you need to empower yourself with more information, with more knowledge, because remember, these people, you have brought them in the business. You have experience. And it is not all about the marketing plan and the product. You need to gather more information. You need to have these trainings we are always holding every week. And you know, as I have said, education is the mother of leadership. This information is the one that will empower your team. You will empower those leaders you are nurturing. You will empower those leaders you are growing. And when it comes to developing others, for example, I want to give an example. You have bought a land, and this land has a lot of bush. That means the owner was not farming that land. What step will you take after purchasing this land? You'll prepare it and develop it. The first thing you'll do is to fence it. After fencing, you'll come and clear the bush. You know, this land, you have fenced it, it means that now your land is protected. Even those who will come to corner the people, they'll not get conned because they'll see this land belongs to another person. It is fenced. After fencing, you'll clear the bush. The land will be very clean. You can even start farming. Another thing we are still on developing, you'll come and connect to water. Water means life. I'll get back to that. Of course, there's no electricity in that land, you will bring electricity. That is light. Now I want to take you how you'll develop these people that have joined, these distributors that have joined this business. After fencing the land, this is your team. Your team will know from now we are safe under one family. You'll clean the land. They'll be with a clean leader. You'll bring water. That is life. These people, others, they were desperate. They have come. You need to develop them. They'll see now there is water here, meaning there is life. There is electricity, meaning there is light ahead of us. We have a leader who is with light, who is leading us. We had lost hope. We now have hope with this leadership. Therefore, you need to empower and develop them. The way you got them, you have to develop them and see a difference. Successful leaders are quick to share their knowledge and do what they can to empower others. They want to grow the leadership and professional skills in members of their team. Of course, you need to be a professional networker. Whatever the skills you are feeding them, they are the right one. Whatever you are feeding them is the one in the compensation plan. And that way, when they will grow with that leadership, with the professional skills, and that is a way of empowering them. Ask for an input from them. Ask for their ideas and insight. Bring them together, get ideas on how you can improve. Even after doing a certain meeting, bring them together and ask for ideas. Where have you gone good? Where have you not gone good? Where do we need to improve? And so on and so on. And try to give them duties so that they can grow as leaders. You can give them duties like this one will be in charge of etiquette, to be telling people on how to dress. You can give another one this duty. You'll be in charge of maybe event coordination, therefore, so that they can be able to learn more. Reinforce with positive feedback. After asking for the ideas, be there to reinforce. Even if some part didn't go very well, you are supposed to reinforce with positive feedback, but you have to correct where it didn't go well. And develop leaders. I explained this when I said after purchasing a land, develop leaders for tomorrow. Make sure when you go in this town, you'll make sure after a certain period of time going there, empowering them, you'll develop leaders in that region. Meaning, now they'll not be requiring you frequently. Maybe it is like once in a month you come, motivate their business, close the meeting. But before then, you are there every now and then, every week. And afterwards, you'll know these the leaders that I'll develop. And of course, they'll have the positive attitude and behaviors like you. Therefore, you'll have duplicated yourself. Stretch each team member's capabilities. If you know a certain team member capabilities, it's you to stretch it. If that member is capable of mobilizing people, after mobilizing people, maybe half of the whole, he can feel it alone. Stretch that capability. Be there for that person, because after stretching it, it will come a time this will be a developed leader. You stretch his capability. Afterwards, he'll be capable to be doing the meetings without even your expenses, because when you are growing that and developing that leader, you used to go there, assist that person maybe on paying some bills like for the halls. But after stretching that capability, it will come a time that leader, that member will only require you to go and motivate the team and close the meeting and see where you left her. He kept on stretching the capabilities after you act on him. You need to be a mentor. Up to a point, a leader will stand and say, that is my leader who mentored me. And of course, you cannot mentor someone if you don't have positive attitude and good behaviors. They'll follow. Let me tell you this. We attract based on who we are, not what we want. Therefore, who we are is the behaviors we have. That is how we'll mentor other people through, because we attract based on who we are, not what we want. Encourage open communication. I've mentioned about this. It's good you bring them together and encourage always an open communication. Sometimes even take your leaders, the one that you are developing them, take them in a place, in a hotel, and have an open communication. Demonstrate that you trust your team members. And how will you demonstrate? One of the ways that you have to duplicate yourself. In this way, you will not be in a way we call here in Kenya, one-man guitar is a person who is there with the guitar in a club singing other people's songs. No, we don't want that. It is that you have more information, you have more skills, duplicate yourself. You'll have this one, you trust him in training product, you trust this person in MC, you trust this person in training the business. Up to an extent, you can sit behind and they train comfortably and they'll have a lot of confidence because they know you trust them. Therefore, you have to demonstrate that you trust these people. I remember my upline came to realize I have the capability to when I joined the business, to invite a lot. And after a period of time, he realized I am a shy person. I'm not able to stand in front of people, but I'm good in mobilizing them and train them either product or business. So it took time for my upline to come in my meetings. Wherever I go, I need him because I'm inviting in a crazy way. Now, one day, my upline, I talked to my upline in the morning. Are you still coming for the meeting? We have invited. Very well. Yes, I'm on the way. I went to the training hall. By then, we didn't have a projector. I purchased the Manila paper, the mark pen, and we were ready. The list of the people who were entering the meeting, I was good. I took their names. And by 9:30, we had more than 50 people in the meeting. I called my upline. Are you still coming? Yes, I'm coming. And I informed him, it is 30 minutes we start the meeting and the hall is almost full. We need to start the meeting. My upline told me, in the next 3 minutes, I'll be there. Get someone to open with a word of prayer, have maybe 2 or 3 songs, then I'm here coming. 3 minutes. And I did the same. After 10 minutes, I couldn't see my upline. And I was wondering, more than 50 people in the meeting. I'm here, I've never stood and trained anything. The prayers are through, the praise and the songs are through. What will happen? They have seated down. Will I tell them to stand again and start singing? No. Now I started, now I'm panicking. I have, the sweat is flowing, but I'm trying to be strong. It is the first time. What I did, I started by introducing the profile of the company, how it started, a few things I know. Still, I couldn't see my upline. And the people I have here, they are young. They cannot train. And I'm the leader. Then I decided I'll start the training. It's me who knows what I'm telling them. They don't know. Even if I tell them for people with diabetes, they can use calcium. They don't know. It's me who I'm training. They are there to listen to me. And I started training, and every minute I could face the door and see if my upline is there. Putting in mind, immediately I see him, I'll stop there and welcome him. But I trained the product. I ended the session of the product without seeing my upline. I started presenting the business. I was ready. Even if I tell them, if you do 250 points, you'll become a foster. They don't know about anything. I trained and trained and trained, only to realize after the meeting, my upline was in the hotel that we are heading the meeting, communicating with another person. He was there ready to wait for me to see what I can do. After training, I finished the session of the business. Immediately I was finishing, that's the time my upline was entering the training hall. And I was wondering, will I talk to him? Or will I not talk to him? But the good thing is that after motivating, closing the meeting, more than 20 people joined. Now my upline was asking me, Is it because of me who have closed the meeting, they have joined more than 20 people, or it is because of the training you have trained? And I said it is because of the training. Therefore, that is a way that he trusts me. Whatever I'll present, he trusted me. And he wanted me to grow. And from that time, actually, I informed him that time, I'll be calling you, but I'm ready for anything. Either you are there or you are not there, I'll be there ready to handle everything. And that's how I grew. So it's good to trust them because already you have empowered them with a lot of skills. The fifth one, you need to take responsibility. A clear telltale sign of a good leader is one who steps up and accepts responsibility each and every time. You know, as a pilot, I'll give you like the image you have here, like a pilot. A pilot knows I'm the one who is to take these people from one point to their destination. And I'm carrying a lot of souls, more than 1,000 people. So it's me to be responsible to reach them in their final destination. And when it comes to responsibility, I have joined the business. You have sat down with me. You have given me a good plan. That I'll go work for it. It's supposed to be your responsibility as a leader to follow the plan and be responsible because I'm new in the business. It's you have sat with me down and have a plan of how to qualify for a car, have a plan of how to qualify for a China trip. Definitely, as a leader, you need to be responsible of that member's plan because you are the one who sat down with him. For example, I have a gentleman, let me use these words, a young gentleman who is 79 years. I'll not use old, he's a young gentleman, 79 years. That gentleman came, listened to the business, and after the meeting, we sat down and he told me, you know what, Fred, I even don't have a birth certificate, not only the passport. Me and my children and my siblings, none of them have a passport. But I want you to take me through how I can do this business and qualify a China trip and get a passport. We sat down and we had a plan. It took me to be responsible because at that age of 79, I'm sure most of the people that person will bring in the meeting is his age mates. Therefore, I took responsibility me to follow him. We are still moving on. We need to accelerate our effort. And at the end of the time, this young gentleman of 79 years will be going to China to celebrate 30th anniversary. It doesn't mean if he didn't manage to get the 20,000 points to qualify for the China trip within the span of 6 months. Actually, he didn't, but he had a good effort. And I'm happy he managed to do more than half the BVs. Therefore, it was my responsibility to make sure we sat down with him the beginning and we had a plan. He wants to get not only the birth certificate, but even the passport. So it is your responsibility as a leader to follow step by step until that active member you have, his or her dreams come true. Like a pilot, our dream is to reach to China. Therefore, it's the responsibility of that pilot to take us very well until we land to China. And our dreams will come to fulfill. There's nothing worse than a leader who will step aside and let one of their team members take the blame. for unfortunate situation or outcome. Maybe you have sat down without leader, you have come up with a good plan, and maybe you are not responsible for the plan, for example, for the dreams this person has. And there, afterwards, you'll put yourself aside for the blame, for the outcome. No, that is not a behavior of a successful leader, because indeed you have motivated them. You have created light for them. They have seen hope in their life. It's good to have that behavior of successful leader, to be responsible. A good leader takes a little more than his share of the blame, a little less than his share of the credit. Therefore, in case of anything, take more share of the blame, so that that person will be encouraged. Even if he or she didn't manage to qualify China trip for the first time, car for the first time, that is not the end of the business. Take a little more share of the blame and tell that person it is possible. We can start again and make it. And this time we'll start with a lot of knowledge where we went wrong, and we'll not go back to that again. You need to show empathy. A successful leader has a high level of emotional intelligence. They have an understanding of other person is coming from. Another thing, understanding even if they don't agree with them. And this way, showing an empathy is entering to that person's shoes and putting yourself in that person. We need to have compassion. Let me compile it that way. To have compassion, because it is not all about business. It is not all about Greenworld business. We come and become one family. Do you have that empathy? It's good to have even in your team, like a farewell. Meaning, if someone is maybe having a wedding, you'll have like some contribution and be with that person during his day. Maybe it can happen, and we don't want this to happen. Maybe one of your member and a leader have lost maybe a family member. You have that, you entering that person, will be that person, you'll accompany that person, because in this business is not all about business alone. We need to be one family. That's why I brought it as compassion. We really care for each other. The way we say in Greenworld, we care and we share. And because leadership is a series of behaviors rather than a role of heroes. Showing empathy to our members will contribute significantly to positive team culture, team achievement. And we all want to feel understood. Even this empathy will also need to create it when maybe I've not managed to qualify for the trip, I've not managed to qualify for the car. Sit without that person and tell that member it is possible. That is not the end of everything. We all want to feel understood. A strong leader knows that and makes sure it happens. So it's not all about me, but it's about us. A successful leader for sure has to be a role model with his or her attitudes and great achievement. He or she also has to make sure for more team members to achieve more and more. Let me finalize by saying, if your actions inspires others to dream more, to learn more, do more and become more, then you are a leader. If your actions, the behaviors are inspiring others to dream more, learn more. And to be a leader, the good thing with this business and the compensation plan of Greenworld is that it starts giving you leadership bonus from 5-star onwards. Therefore, that means what I need to tell you is that before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. Before you become a successful leader, success is all about growing yourself. And afterwards, after becoming a leader, now success is all about growing others. Meaning, immediately the company starts giving you leadership bonus at level 5. That is the time success to you, because I know we have even 4 stars, 5 stars here. That specific time you are 5-star, success, if you want to count success, is all about growing yourself. And afterward, when you become now a successful leader, you have been mentored. Now success comes the other way around. It is all about growing others. And the other thing is that you don't need title. Get this well. You don't need title to be a leader. No. But leadership is a choice, not a position. And the good thing with the leadership of network marketing is different from the other leadership. For example, if you are a leader, maybe let me give this example. We have leaders in supermarket to lead others. We have politicians who are also leaders. And now, for these politicians to become leaders, they are chosen. Maybe others, they'll do campaigns. Others, they'll become corrupt so that they can become the leaders. In universities, you used to see people, they are doing campaigns so that they can become leaders. Now the difference now comes with this. Those ones, they'll do campaigns so that they get selected. But in network marketing, in Greenworld, for you to become a leader, you need first of all to select yourself, empower yourself, select yourself from others. Then those who will be there, the top leaders, to select you. Already you had selected yourself. And that's how I've said you don't need title to be a leader. You can even be a 6-star and you are a leader. It doesn't mean you need to become an 8-star, 1-star manager to be a leader. And leadership is a choice. It is not the position you are. And that's the team together, everyone achieve. Thank you so much for listening. Back to you, Madam Reni.
Thank you very much, Mr. Macharia. This is a very wonderful presentations about leadership. Actually, just like you said, that leadership is a choice. You know, it is not a position in network marketing. And I know the leadership you have. Actually, I really enjoy the team building you have organized in Kenya. You know, I and all the team members learned a lot. I know that you walk the talk. This is not only a training, a presentation, but you did everything you trained today. So thank you very much. Congratulations. It was really, really wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Frederick Macharia. The next
Thank
one
you so
will
much.
be, thank you. The next one will be Madame Enia Angelica from Mozambique. Madame, are you trying to connect with us?
Hold on. Okay.
Madame, Madame Ernia, are you trying to connect with us? Let us see, because she actually said she has a very poor connection, internet connection. Let us see. Madame Ernia, are you trying to connect with us?
Okay. She's trying to connect with the phone, Madam Rainey.
Okay, all right. Okay, because you know we understand that in some of the area the connection was very poor, so let her connect with us. So we're waiting for her. Okay, let me introduce how to say, okay, about Mr. Frederick Macharia. So actually last year during November, when Dr. Devin Lee and President Mr. David Zhang and Professor Zhang and I visit Kenya, you know, we had many activities, very important. We had the meetings with all the professors and the academic persons about the fertilizer. And also we had a 3 days leadership camp. So basically, this leadership camp was led by Madame Lucy, all the key leaders in her team, and all the young and wonderful trainers in Kenya. So basically, I would say that instead of me going there training, actually, I was there learning. Oh yes, Dr. Wana, how are you? Dr. Wana from Canada. Actually, thank you, and Dr. Wana send her congratulations to Mr. Frederick. So actually, I learned a lot during that leadership camp. uh, we not only learned from the classroom, but we also from team building, the outdoor team buildings. So the outdoor team buildings was organized mainly facilitated by Mr. Frederick Macharia. I missed the part, the swimming pool part. So I hope that next time, you know, I can be part of this. I really want to know, you know, what activities that you done when you were swimming and what learned after that. So congratulations, you know, you learned a lot, and congratulations, Madam Lucy, you had wonderful, wonderful team. And this is actually the life testimonials of the leadership of you and your team leaders. So great. Thank you so much. Madam Ernia, are you still connecting?
Madam Rainey, she's failing.
Okay, so let us do this way. We will leave this presentation for her next time. So next time that we'll invite Madame Ernia to do the training. So okay, please, the next hour, I'll take it. Sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen, because sometimes, you know, of internet connection is really is unpredictable here. Okay, so we still have 1 hour. Please allow me to do the training. You just give me 5 minutes. For this wonderful presentations by Madam Enia, we'll keep it for her next time. So next time we'll invite Madam Enia and Madam Nerenas. So both of you, right? So the next time, next Friday, it will be you and Madam Enia, right?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, all right. So let me start sharing my okay. Just give me 1 minute. Let me see.
Guys, let's go out. It's raining.
I did this presentation in Kenya, but I haven't done it to other countries yet. So okay, let me do this.
Yes.
Come.
Let's make it. Who put this in?
Let's go.
No.
What's this? No, they gave us to use with me.
Shalom, go out. Come on.
It's very cold, bro.
Okay, Mr. Frederick Macharia just talked about how to build a team, the attitudes. So actually, I also had, the similar topics about, how to build beliefs in network marketing. So ladies and gentlemen, whoever has listened to this, well, you can, you can spend this hour with your family, doing something else. It doesn't matter. So for those who haven't listened to this yet, so I'm going to share about how to build the beliefs in network marketing. Okay, first let me start play the slideshow. Okay. Okay, success in network marketing all begins with belief. Let me put the volumes, set the volumes, okay. So we understand that the success in network marketing all begin with of belief. If you believe you can, you will. If you believe you can't, you won't. Success in network marketing actually comes down to 4 key beliefs. Build these beliefs before you build your teams and business. Otherwise, your business doesn't go too far. Number 1, we should build belief in Greenworld's products. We got to understand how to use the products to address one of your health conditions. Why we start from the products, not the business, not the company first, because majority of distributors know the company and the business through using the products. Why you must do this? For yourself to build the belief in the products. Why we must, build the belief on the products? Because to master the product knowledge is one thing, but to be able to, to become a loyal consumer makes you a successful distributor. If you know the product knowledge from inside out, very good. You can be a good presenter. You can be a good trainer. But the only way for you to become a successful distributor is to become a loyal consumer. Knowledge itself doesn't build your confidence when marketing the products unless you know that the products work and how they work on you. I remember when I started, when I was introduced to network marketing 25 years ago, I watched a video about a skincare distributor. Okay, that distributor mainly sell the skincare products. She was from one of the best and the pioneering direct sales company, which is Amway. She actually put on the Amway skincare on her left side of the face and leave the right side of the face with other brand of skincare products. So after a few years, actually, she has different skin tones and different skin textures. So, obviously everybody who sees this will understand how wonderful the products she promoted. But I totally understand this is a great, great sacrifice. There's no way that you don't feel proud of the products if you can do this. So choose a weak system of your body and address it with products with faith. We don't really recommend you to use each and every product because first of all, you can't. Secondly, products will take a little bit long to create the result. So you can't wait so many time for each products to to create the result on you. But you can choose one of your weak system. For example, I have the nearsightedness and eye strain since I was 40. So I addressed this condition with the Blueberry Eye Care Soft Gel 14 years ago. But after using this product for 14 years, what I've cultivated is not only the steadiness of the vision, but sharp brain functions. So at this age, I still have very sharp function. And now it is, 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., in the morning. So you can see that I'm still feeling energetic. Okay, so you need to coach your team members to know each product inside out, from how to open the package to how it tastes, what color it is, and how do you feel when and after you take. So all the physical features of the products contribute to your belief on them. So this is number one. Number two, use the products to collect the testimonials. Normally, as a distributor, we don't introduce products in presenters style. Your customers are not really interested in each ingredient, especially, the herbs, the Chinese herbs. A lot of the Chinese herbs, they don't have any English name, but the Latin name, the botanical name in Latin. So when you talk about this to your prospects, believe me, 90% of them don't understand what you're talking about. So you don't have to. They are more interested in what happens to you after you use the products. So if you can't give them your testimonials, possibly your customers won't be convinced enough to buy. So you need to set an example for your team members, that especially the front lines, the people you recruit directly, and the key players in your team to use the products. They should also collect their testimonials. It is like you're sowing seeds of testimonials to cultivate the fruits. So the more testimonials you have, the more successful your OPP will be. So imagine each active member in your team has his own testimonies. When you have a mega OPP, there are 10 or 20 distributors sharing their testimonials. This is much more convincing than any other information. I give you an example how the Chinese distributors have their mega OPP. Well, in front of the audience, what they do is first they will ask the company trainers to present the company and the brief introduction of the products. No, we don't do the business plan part in China because that will rely on the, the distributor, the team trainers, because they have their own ways to show them, how to, make money. Okay, so after we present the company, we present the products in a brief way. They were going to invite at least 20 people onto the stage, sharing about their testimonials in using the products or doing the business. So actually, the newcomers sitting there, they will keep on listening to different testimonials. So if 20 people, 30 people say that the product works on them, the company's good, the business is, helps them to make money, believe me, there's no way that they don't get convinced that this is a good opportunity, right? So to have product testimonials doesn't mean you have to have amazingly life-changing result with the products, but actually you need a powerful marketing tools to move in the right direction. You can't, everybody has life-changing, there are not many couples that after using the products that they start, having the baby. Actually, we could only have one or two of this kind of testimonies. So some testimonies not really life-changing, but as long as their condition improved, that is a good testimonial. Then number 3, become a product of Greenworld products. Food supplement works differently than medicine. Only a few of Greenworld products give you very instant result. For example, like the clear Changjingjing, the blueberry juice, or the sanitary napkin. But majority of the products work steadily and gradually in your system. So it will take a few months or even years before you see the visible or obvious result. For example, we got to understand that, nearsightedness, after you have this problem for 5 years, 10 years, you can't just take any medicine or products to let you, throw your obstacles unless you take an operation. So no products, no medicine in the world can completely cure your nearsightedness, but this can help me to prevent many of the complications of the nearsightedness. For example, the retina detachment or the glaucoma, something like this. So actually, I have to wait for 10 years, for 20 years to see the result, but you got to have faith. So it will take a long time for a product to generate the result. So I want to take a mega OPP as the example. Imagine you are a newcomer sitting there watching a group of people who look happy, healthy, and well off. So you must be eager to be part of it. So they will also buy into the concept of health and the business that you want to put into their mind, right? So that is why you need a lot of people to have the testimonies in your team. Okay, so let me sorry, I have to mute this. Okay, let me continue. You must become a product of Greenwood products, right? Then duplicate this through your team. So when more people in your sphere of influence are using the products and coached properly by you, more will generate some positive result, more excitement spread from there. Tune into all this success stories, which generates positive vibrations around you. That validation will strengthen your belief and build the belief of the newcomers. For instance, Some distributors have been with Greenworld for years, but are still struggling with weight issues. So since they don't represent what they sell, so they will face challenges marketing the weight loss products. So same applies to other products. Situations like this simply send the wrong messages to your prospects. So imagine if you were in the car business and sold the Volkswagen, and every day you talk to your prospects how wonderful this car is, and how many advantages that they should actually consider, so they will buy one. But by the end of the day, you drive off the lot in a Toyota. So it is very incongruent, and you lose all the credibility. So whatever the products actually you are trying to present, make sure that you use it, and you develop the belief, the faith in the products, and then this is help you how to create a successful business in network marketing. The next one is the facts tell, stories sell. Having your own product testimonies is key, but if you're just getting started, you can use others' testimonials to help grow your business. So this is also beneficial because your story may not relate to every person you share your products with. So we have dozens of products, packages, addressing different health concerns. So gather at least one testimonial for one product package. Then you have more options to cater a story to each individual person. So we have at least 16 to 20 health packages. Maybe you haven't tried the diabetic package, you don't have this issue. You haven't tried the high blood sugar, high blood pressure package, but you can collect the testimonies from other people. You can tell the story. So for example, if your prospects has the high blood pressure, then you may use others example. For example, you can tell that, okay, I know one of the distributors in my company, who is hypertensive. So which products he used: the lipid KT, the cardio power, the omega-3, the cooling plastic, and after use it for 3 months, her blood pressure stabilized and go back to normal. So you can share these testimonies with your prospect. You have to learn at least each testimonies from each different health packages. So Greenworld has a wide variety of products. You may not be able to use each and every of them, but through collecting others' testimonies, you will be able to relate to most of the health concerns of your prospects. The next one is build belief in the company. Number one, make full use of the opportunities of visiting the production base. Each year, 1 or 2 China trip is arranged. A half-day tour in Nanjing production base provide you the best opportunities to know more about the company or to share more about the company. The data and the terminologies we use in the PPT actually turns to some real life scenes. So here I give you an example in of PPT. How we present the workshop, probably like this. The production in Greenworld workshop, is in line with the good manufacturer practice, which is a GMP. Or you can present this way, that Greenworld is actually adhere to the standards of the GMP when manufacturing the products. Do you think that these sentences make sense to most of the newcomers? Actually, no. This is the way how we present the company profile. Actually, how we introduce, how we give you the information. But in the field, you are supposed to add something to make your prospects or newcomers understand what you're talking about. So in the field, you could present it in this way. Okay, here, you know, I want to tell you what the GMP standards the Greenworld is following. What does it mean? Okay, when we visit the Nanjing production base, first of all, we were asked to change of clothes. Actually, we need to put on the hat, wear the mask, and, put on the white coat and the shoe covers before we enter the first room. Actually, the first room is called the #1 locker room. And then in the room, we were asked to wash our hands. And then, actually, they have the airlock. So what does the airlock mean? It means that, the two doors opposite each other, one of the door must remain closed. There's no any one moment that both of the door are open, because when both of the door open, the air could flow from outside inside the workshop, and the air from outside could be polluted. It is not clean. So, when one door is open, the other door must be closed. And always, air must flow from the cleaner area to the less clean area. So this is how they control the cleanness of the air. Okay, sorry, I still need to mute somebody. Okay, so now you understand, this is the changing procedure that we followed before we enter the workshop, before we walk into the corridors. So when you add this information, I think, it helps the newcomers to paint a picture what you are talking about. So next time, if any of your downline qualifies for the China trick, make good use of the opportunity and don't treat it for products. So this is why we give 3 extra days before this China trip for those trainers who qualify for the outstanding trainers incentive plan. We want them to know more, to experience more, and to take more information back to their home, to their teams. So the most successful distributors have been to a ton of events, have visited the head office, production base, and have engaged in lots of personal development to build their belief in all these areas. So it's great. It's really important to make continuing investment in yourself. So to feed the inspirations to your mind from the experience of your company's event, so you develop stronger belief and better skills. The next one is build belief in network marketing through listening to leaders' stories. The more success stories you've heard and know, the stronger your belief system will become. Often, one story shared by Diamond Club members on the Zoom meeting every month. This is my favorite part in all these online trainings, because you know why? I feel much stronger and inspired each time after listening to a leader's story. You may download the MP4 file from the Facebook or record an MP3 file. Each time, actually, you see, I have 2 devices. I opened another mobile phone. I just simply switch on my recorder and record MP3, because I don't really need to watch the video. I can listen the MP3. So, when I'm driving, sometimes when I'm on the public transport, or when I'm traveling from Tianjin to Nanjing production base. So for the 4 hours in the train, I can listen to some of the great leaders' success stories. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you got to remember, in Africa region, now we have the big family. We have the audience from almost each countries from the Africa. So in Africa, we have I didn't put Madame Mata's actually, I put a few. This is a PPT actually I use for Kenya training. So if I know that I'm supposed to train, I need to adjust the pictures. So sorry for that. So actually in Africa region, we have star 4 director even next week. No, actually 29th, believe me, you're going to witness something wonderful. We have invited Madame Ngozi from Lagos, Nigeria, who is a star 4 director. So in Africa, we have star 3 director, Madame Neronis. We have star 2 director, Madame Lucy, Madame Malta. We have Mr. Tendai, we have Mr. Mbogo, we have, so many wonderful, wonderful leaders. And each and every one of them could make us learn something from them. For example, I take an example. From Madame Neronis, you learn how the young generation, use the modern technology, the online trainings, the Facebook, the social media to explore the market. So actually, when they do the market, they use both online and offline. The live, marketing method and also the online. So you can learn this from them. And also, from Madame Lucy, you learn the best leadership. So you see how many wonderful trainers from Kenya. We have at least we have Mr. Mbogo, we have the Mr. Macharia, Mr. and Mrs. Macharia. So and also we have Mr. Eric Tawa, we have Christopher, we have believe me, we have more Kenya trainers that in the future can give us wonderful presentations. So from this, you can see how Madame Lucy developed her team. And believe me, last time, I still want to emphasize that, during the leadership camp, so actually we generated an atmosphere that almost each of the audience is one of the presenters. So each one have something to train. And also each one can listen and learn from others. So they have already created this wonderful educative atmosphere in their team. And believe me, Mr. Macharia, Frederick Macharia, is one of the facilitator of the outdoor team building. So actually, I myself learned a lot. So you can see this is the leadership Madame Lucy has. So you can learn the leadership from her. And also we have Mr. Tendai, one of the best motivator and trainers in Africa and also in the whole world. Well, you can see he has a systematic training system in Zimbabwe. Actually, in Zimbabwe, believe me, we haven't been to Zimbabwe yet. But, the previous week, we have 2 wonderful Zimbabwe trainers. And those are the trainers trained by Mr. Tendai. And so we can learn, how he, emphasize on training and use the training as a tool. And believe me, he went to Zambia and recruited more than 20 very influential people, and they make themselves star 3 on the spot. So actually, you can learn all this from the great leaders. So learn this from them. And also build belief in network marketing in your team members through collecting the leader stories. So people love to hear stories. Share the best success stories with your prospects and tell the stories with passion, which help to grab and keep their attention. Believe me, let me see the mega OPP. You got to really shorten the time talking about the company, talking about the percentage of the bonuses, how to calculate. Leave it for NDO. Leave it after they register. You got to emphasize on testimonies and stories, the life stories, because this can grab them. This can, emotionally, people connect with this thing. Emotionally, people don't connect with figures and data and information. That is for training. purpose. Okay, so remember you have an access to a money-making business and 8 lines of products which help solve most of the common health conditions. So if you believe in this is compelling enough to make it seem so desirable, what you offer to your prospects could be irresistible to them. So what stories from other leaders inspire and drive you? Each leader of Greenworld Africa has its own style. So make sure that you either download this in MP4 or you simply make it MP3. MP4 takes a lot of data. Actually, MP3, you will find that you can have 100 MP3 file in your recorder. And it doesn't take much space in your mobile phone. So whenever you're driving, you're using public transport, you're walking, you can listen to this. Many top leaders in the network marketing industry may have harder time getting their business rolling. Believe me, they are so successful. It's not because they're more intelligent. It's not because, they're more educated. Actually, it is they have experienced a harder time than us. So, often you'll meet people coming from a worse background, so with more obstacles that they had to overcome than you as well. So these leaders just become a living testament that if they can do it, you can do it. A lot of people see the potential in building a network marketing business, but still have hesitations about industry. So you must meet more leaders. So that is why I said you come to this Zoom. In this Zoom, you not only meet the leaders in your own country, but you meet the leaders from all African countries. So the more you know him and the more you learn from him, the more that you can build belief in what you're doing, build a belief in the network marketing. You don't just have to limit yourself to meet the leaders from your own country. So meet them, come here and meet all leaders in Africa region. Facts tell, stories sell. People remember stories. Stories deliver emotional impact. They make your business offering seem much more real, and people love to hear them. People remember the stories than the facts and the figures. Stories build belief. So if your leaders train online or offline, make sure that you attend the training and make record of the presentations. Okay, so get your cell phone ready and record those presentations and the motivations and listen to them whenever you are low. This helps you to build the belief in the network marketing and also build belief in yourself. Excuse me. Build belief in yourself. Network marketing is the great equalizer. People of diverse background find their opportunity in network marketing every day. Men and women from all levels of the corporate world find freedom through network marketing. All have a personal story about their success that is both instructive and inspiring. No investment is more important than the one you make in yourself. So make that investment by engaging in lots of personal development through the wealth of resources available today. So most of us were taught about knowledge and skills at school, but few of us are aware of how to program ourselves towards success. Virtually most of us need to overcome our own lack programming through constant strategic reprogramming. So this starting with being aware that the challenge is there, then being watchful and taking positive steps to burst through and beyond that strong lack of programming that hold many people back in the hurt. So read the good, uplifting, empowering books in network marketing industry at least 15 minutes a day. So I think remember when Madame Lucy first shared with us about her success story. She said every month she must read at least one book about the network marketing. And I still have one book from her as a gift. So feed your mind with that nourishment and benefit from the experience others have already had mistakenly they have made. So figure out how to extrapolate their tips and lessons to what you need to do. So get inspired to take new and different actions to build strong beliefs and to get better result. So instead of browsing every day, a lot of people keep on browsing those funny videos for hours and hours. So turn your mobile phone into a college of network marketing. So when you open your mobile phone galleries, you must see that, yes, there are pictures of yourself, your kids, your spouse, very good, but you must have pictures of Greenworld products, the events, the testimonials, and also, your recorder should contain the MP3 files of the leaders' presentations and motivations, and also the favorite product presentations you want to learn. So at the beginning of the business, you may share others' trainings and presentations to your newly recruited members. So set a goal to be able to share the fast-moving products or product packages on your own. So share your own testimonies and collect some testimonials from your leaders, the company, and also even your downlines. You collect the testimonials. So many people need to hear from you and get listened to by you. So that report is created. A strong report opens up the two-way communications, and others will listen to you differently when that happens. So your prospects may not fully understand the huge value of the opportunities you offer right away, but with repeated exposure, some of them will get it and want what you've got. Follow-up can yield huge rewards down the road. So do all the stuff just discussed and start generating some growing checks from your network marketing business. It may take a little time, but you will come to know that you can succeed with this industry as your belief in it grows. So who is responsible for building all these beliefs? Of course, you are. You must build it and continue to reinforce it, or else, the natural fragility may drag you down, discourage you, and distract you from your path to succeed. So if your upline leaders are responsible, they will be helping you build these beliefs. But if they don't, just realize that maybe they're not as serious about, having the success in this business as you are. So you build your own. So when the network grows, sometimes, let me talk about another very interesting. Sometimes the company can't keep up with the growth of the network. The company could also make mistakes. So when the mistakes occur and things happen to occasionally disappoint you or your field teams, on one hand, you may seek help from the manager, from your upline, from the great leaders. But on the other hand, you need to call on the strengths of your own belief system and vision to reassure those in your downlines who get unnecessarily anxious about company mistakes. So, okay, if the company made mistake, on one hand, seek help. On other hand, try to help your downlines to overcome this instead of the whole team starts, complaining. You'll find that a lot of negativity spread in your team. A strong company's recognition program can go a long way to help distributors build stronger belief in themselves. Well, in network marketing industry, sometimes if your performance is recognizable enough that you are given a recognition at the event or activities organized by Greenworld, then congratulations. Make full use of these opportunities to build beliefs in the company and also in yourself and in your team. But the point is,
Guys, we are need to sleep.
what about your team members? You know, sometimes your team members rank is not so high because in the big event, normally people who qualified for the China trips, for the cars, the villas, you know, they get recognition and the awards. But you know, sometimes your downlines only star 4, star 5, star 6, so they don't get the recognition. Then what can you do in this way? So, okay, I also introduced, you know, what the leaders has done. Then, you know, each time after the great event, the mid-year rally or the China trip or the year rally, there's some leaders, they join hands to do this. They have their own meetings. You know, actually, they organize their own meetings. You know, they give the recognition and some awards to their own downlines, you know, for who has done something really, really inspiring. For example, some people may good at recruiting, like Mr. Frederick Macharia, and some people is good at training. Sometimes they promoted to a higher rank, and somebody is good at making sales. They make a lot of BV. So, you know, give the recognition to your team members and give them some awards. You know, maybe the awards not big, you know, maybe just a coffee pot, you know, some mugs, some you know, towels, you know, something like this, you know, because you know what, remember, not most the newly joined people may never get recognized for much. If anything, you know, they could be from all walks of life. They could be teachers, could be nurse, engineers, waitresses, security guards, or even students. But they share one common. They have hardly been recognized in their career. So network marketing's ability to foster recognition of personal achievement has enormous value. It builds self-esteem, confidence, and strength, and the belief in oneself. So, you know, as a leader, if you can help to build the belief in themselves, so this could be one of the best way to grow your team. You know, just like Mr. Frederick Macharia has introduced, you know, how his upline built him. So, you know, I totally understand. I know who he is talk about. You know, purposely he was left alone, you know, to finish the presentation. So this is the way that his upline helped him to grow. So you may choose your own way. You may not use the same way, but use your own way to, you know, inspire, to develop your downlines. Okay, generate your own leads for success in network marketing. Could you imagine trying to build a house, a building just with a hammer? You know, it might be possible, but it will take forever. The same thing goes for building a network marketing business. Without the right marketing tools for network marketing, you can grow your business, but it could take a lot longer. So that is why having the right tools to, you know, properly build your network marketing business can help increase your belief that you can succeed. Most people start with their warm market in network marketing, and people they know this is a great place to start. But once you go through that list, if you don't have anyone to talk to, most people will quit. So you need to generate your own leads for network marketing and the tools mentioned above. What is the leads? So you actually need your own lead magnet to attract people. So what does this own lead mean? It means that something useful for others. So you could treat their names, their contact numbers, their emails, their mobile phones with this. I'll give you an example. What is the lead magnet? Dr. Mbogo from Kenya is excellent trainer. He knows almost each and every product, and he mastered the health knowledge. So if you are good at this, so you can offer the health tips to others. You can use mobile phone or your social media to write something very short, brief, but the lifestyle tips. For example, how to deal with the hypertension, the high blood sugar, the type 2 diabetes, the infertility, all these health concerns. You can just address this. So whenever people think about, hey, I have a customer who has this and that problem, so to whom I shall seek help with, so they will come to you, and then you could ask them for their contact numbers. So this is the lead magnet. And also, he's an expert in fertilizer. So whenever you come across, what happens to my watermelons? What happens to, the chili peppers, the onions, for how to, use the fertilizers for the maize, for the sugar cane. Okay, you can go for him. You can seek his consultation. So this is his, the lead magnet. So somebody is good at the business, very good at the, the marketing, at the, the business plan, the compensation plan. So whenever you have problem, don't know how to calculate your bonus, you can consult him or consult her. So then it means that this person has the lead magnet of the business of network marketing. So you must find what is your strength. Maybe you're good at talking to people, or maybe you're good at facilitating events, or you may be good at training. Find the strengths of you and create your lead magnet. So when you help more people, then people will come to you and you can get their contact numbers. So this help you to expand your team. Okay, so I totally agree that your attitude determines your altitude. So your attitude is composed of all these elements of belief. It becomes your outlook on things. It is what you think and how you behave. It's just like what Mr. Frederick has presented. So what's possible and what still needs work. So with strong belief, virtually anything is possible. Certainly success in network marketing is, with enough work engaging in smart actions. So without belief, however, one's hope for success in this business are effectively doomed. We all have a choice to build your beliefs or not. So what you truly believe is what you become. Where you believe you are set to is the limit of how high you will go. If you get there and you then want more, you will simply need to expand your vision and create new empowering beliefs that can propel you even higher. So change your beliefs and you will change who you are, what level of contributions you will make, and what levels of reward, satisfaction, and influence you will ultimately enjoy. So I think, we're going to end. Interestingly, I have almost the same topic with Mr. Frederick Macharia. So I hope that you find this kind of presentation helpful in your business. So thank you once again. Next week, we are expecting Madame Nearness and Madame Enia for their presentation. So thank you very much. And I'm going to stop sharing the screen for you. So I would like to say good night to each and every one of you, and you enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Madam Rainey. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Madam Rainey. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
Madam
for
Rainey.
wonderful.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick Macharia. Thank you, Mr. Mbogo. Thank you, Madam Lucy. Thank you, Madam Nervous. Thank you, Madam Mata.
Thank you, Amoske from Malawi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Elise from Congo, DRC.
Oh, how is Congo?
Doing very well. Good evening.
Congo, DRC.
Welcome, Congo. Thank you so much, Madam Reni.
Wow. Good.
Bye. Yo.
Thank you, Madam Reni.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
I'm watching
Thank
Mauritius.
you. Bye.
Bye.